Paul and Lara were a couple in their early 40s with 2 young kids. Paul worked as an executive making a really strong salary, and Lara worked in marketing and was just getting back into the work groove after 5 years of maternity leave followed by part-time work. They had some really good things going on with their money, but when we started working together, I discovered that they'd made some serious mistakes that were holding them back. We realized that if these issues weren't fixed and quickly, they'd essentially be stuck working forever. Paul and Lara had bought their own home a while back and made some good money as it increased in value. Their savings capacity was strong, so they'd purchased a lovely lifestyle property on the New South Wales South Coast, a place they could enjoy with their family. Paul had set up a trust for investing based on some research he'd done and advice from friends in a similar position. He'd started doing some ETF investing through this trust to generate another income stream for their future. Things were going along pretty well and Paul and Lara were happy, but then everything changed. Through the 2023 interest rate tightening cycle, the repayments on the debt on Paul and Lara's home and their lifestyle property started crimping their cash flow. They weren't struggling, but they weren't able to save very much at all. They were treading water financially. When we started getting into the detail, we realized that there were a few issues at play. First, while their home had made them some money through its growth, they had a large mortgage on this property. When interest rates were ultra low, around 2%, this was fine, but in a normal interest rate environment, it meant a huge chunk of their income was needed to cover their repayments. Further, the lifestyle property they had was awesome, but having around $1 million in debt to service on a property that wasn't generating any income was a challenge. It meant the cash flow costs for the repayments themselves, but it also meant Paul and Lara couldn't borrow more money to make further property investments. And while I love trusts as an investment structure, which I'll dive into a little bit later, because there wasn't a lot of money invested through this investment account, it was costing more for the annual tax returns than the amount of tax that was being saved, and by a significant margin. You'd be forgiven for thinking that Paul and Lara were doing all the smart things with their money. Buy a home, smart. Set up a trust, smart. Buy ETFs, smart. Buy a lifestyle property, lovely. The real issue here wasn't that these moves weren't good things to do. It was that the timing was wrong relative to the other things that were going on with their money. As a result, their progress suffered. And that's the thing with money. You have to not only do good things, you have to do them at a good time. Unpacking the smart money stages. This is a concept I'll refer to throughout this book, so it's worth unpacking here. From my experience with helping people with their money directly through one-on-one advice and indirectly through my education content, I've found there are 5 key stages that people go through on their money journey. The good news is that if you know what to look for and what to do at each of these stages, you can accelerate your progress and put yourself in the best possible position sooner. You can refer to figure 1.1 of the accompanying PDF on the 5 smart money stages, but just to run through them here, the first stage is foundations, then we move on to focus, then it's optimize, accelerate, and the final stage is impact. There are a lot of different labels given to true money success: financial freedom, financial independence, financial security, financial stability, abundance, independence, and the list goes on. I refer to this as smart money freedom, and my definition is simple. You own your own home, mortgage-free, and you have sufficient investments to provide you enough income to live your ideal lifestyle. For a virgin millionaire, smart money freedom is something you need to achieve without a trust fund or a massive leg up from family. It's something that will take years, often decades, to achieve, but the juice really is worth the squeeze. Fast forward into the future where you've achieved smart money freedom. You now have enough money rolling into your bank account every week or month to allow you to live your ideal lifestyle without ever having to work again. This isn't to say that you won't work. Most people I talk to about this don't actually want to retire. They're often hardworking, high achievers who have deep passions and a solid skill set, and they want to be and feel productive. But there's a huge difference between working because you need the money and working because you choose to. The feeling of having choice is a total game changer. Smart money freedom is exactly what I'm going to help you plan and prepare for, and ultimately to create as you work through this book. We're going to do this knowing that you can make it happen on your own without a huge leg up from your family. And we're going to assume that you don't have other people in your family or close circle who have done this before. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Becoming a virgin millionaire will take some serious work and not a small amount of time. Early on in your journey, it may seem overwhelming and borderline impossible, but I promise you that with the right approach, some smart tactics and strategies, and a consistent focus, you can absolutely make it happen.